and welcome to the presentation from the College of Letters and Science Dean's Office. Welcome to all prospective students as well as newly admitted students. Congratulations. We're going to be giving you some information about the College of Letters and Science. My name is Simone Verbakken, and I'm a third-year Human Development major here at UC Davis with a minor in Communications, originally from Palo Alto, California.
And my name is Nicole Gies. I'm a third-year Psychology and Sociology double major, and I'm originally from San Jose, California.
So like I said, we just have some general information about our college. You can follow along with us on the slideshow.
And at the end, we'll be taking questions, but feel free to send in your questions throughout the presentation.
So the College of Letters and Science is the largest and most academically diverse college on the UC Davis campus of our 4 colleges, and it has over 11,000 students.
And within our college, we have about 50 majors and another 50 minors. We'll be going through some of those later on.
We have kind of a liberal arts perspective in Letters and Science with a big breadth of knowledge. It's really important to us, and we really encourage exploration and intellectual activity. There's 3 main areas of the College of Letters and Science. We have the Division of Humanities, Humanities, Arts, and Cultural Studies, as well as the Division of Mathematics and Physical Sciences, and then the Division of Social Sciences.
So just to break these down a little bit more, we have our Division of Social Sciences that you guys can see here, things like anthropology, communications, psychology, and sociology, linguistics, things like that.
The next of the 3 divisions is the Division of Mathematics and Physical Sciences. So this is pretty straightforward as well. Things like chemistry, mathematics, statistics, all of these are also fall under the purview of the College of Letters and Science.
And then lastly, a really big area here, we have our Humanities, Arts, and Cultural Studies. So you can see different like cultural ethnic studies, Native American studies, women and gender studies as well.
So there's 3 different sections to Humanities, Arts, and Cultural Studies. The second would be Fine and Applied Arts, things like art history, music, technocultural studies would all fall under this section. And then the last of the 3 sections of Arts and Humanities and Cultural Studies would be just the humanities, many of our different languages on campus, medieval and early modern studies, comparative literature, our university writing program, lots of really exciting ways for our students to get involved in a large variety of topics.
So why should you guys choose to come to UC Davis? UC Davis is ranked number 6 among cutting-edge universities in the nation. So there's a lot of opportunities for internships. You can study abroad, including places like Washington, D.C. We also have honors programs here, like our Davis Honors Challenge. But there's also a ton of student clubs and activities and organizations. So we do have over 400 clubs here at Davis that you can get involved with students with similar interests or hobbies or beliefs as you, maybe even within similar fields that you're interested in going into.
And we also have lots of really great campus resources to assist our student body in every part of college life. So we have lots of different advising on campus to make sure that students are taking the right classes and that they know kind of what the department means, what their career perspectives are, things like that. Graduate and pre-professional school advising. We have 6 different professional schools here on campus, so students do also get the opportunity to interact with those really exciting graduate students. The Student Academic Success Center is a really exciting resource. They offer free tutoring in a variety of different subjects, as well as educational programs in everything from time management to test taking to multiple choice strategies, things like that. And the Internship and Career Center is something really exciting on our campus. They place over 5,500 students in internships every year around the city of Davis or even across the world. They also hold internship and career fairs every quarter, which are really great resources for students. And there's lots of fun and exciting ways to get involved there.
And all these things that Simone just mentioned are all located here on campus, so really easy to get to if you guys ever needed to access any of those. So Davis is just overall a great place to go to school. There's a really roomy campus, so we have our arboretum you guys can see in that picture there. We have our giant quad in the middle of campus, a nice grassy area that students like to hang out and relax, get to know other students. We also have our new Mondavi Center, which is located here on campus. It draws in a lot of top performing arts companies here to our campus that you guys can always check out. As students, you also get 50% off tickets there, so that's pretty sweet. It also says we have over 1 trillion bicycles, maybe a slight exaggeration. We do have over 40,000 registered bikes here in the city of Davis, though, so a lot of bike traffic going on here, but definitely fun to see that.
And Davis also has a really exciting location within California. There's lots of great things around us and really exciting ways to get involved. We have Sacramento, Lake Tahoe, Napa, skiing, all things just within a couple hours drive. We also have lots of different groups and programs on campus like Outdoor Adventures or a Ski and Snowboard Club so that students can go out and experience the beautiful outdoors that we have here in the area.
All right, so hopefully you are able to see that Davis will challenge you guys here, but there's a lot of fun and exciting things going on within our college, and hopefully you guys will see a little bit of College of Letters and Science specifically as well. So we'll be able to answer some questions here.
And feel free to continue adding questions as they come up and as we try our best to address them. There's a question here about declaring a minor. So there's lots of really great ways to expand upon your academic education here at UC Davis. Obviously you do need a major, but many students do also choose to double major or add minors. Like I said, this is a great way to diversify your education. Minors are very doable for students in a lot of different programs within Letters and Science because we do have some majors that are a little bit smaller than other majors on campus, so it allows our students more flexibility. Like I said, I'm a communications minor, and I feel that that's been really helpful to me in terms of the types of careers that I want to go into. I think that the classes are really applicable to what I want to do, and it was a little bit less of a commitment for me in terms of my coursework than double majoring in communications. And in terms of the paperwork, it's really doable. You just have to take a certain number of classes here at UC Davis, and like I said, I've really enjoyed my experience with that.
And you don't actually declare your minor until either the quarter before you graduate or within the first few weeks of the quarter that you graduate. So even though you can be working towards it, you wouldn't declare your minor until your senior year. Let's see what else.
So there's a question here about what do you want to do with your degree after you graduate. So I personally, like I said, I'm a human development major, and I really love the opportunities that it allows me because it's so interdisciplinary. But I think this is also a great way to link back to that internship and career center that we mentioned earlier. This is a really amazing resource on campus for students who do or don't know what they want to do with their major after they graduate. Like I said, they bring lots of really great companies to campus for internship and career fairs. They have classes where you can work on interview skills, resume writing, so that when you do decide what you want to do, you can be really prepared to hit the ground running in the workforce.
As for me, as I mentioned, I'm a psychology and sociology double major, and I'm looking more into going into the law enforcement field or criminal investigations, something like that. And as Simone mentioned, we do have our internship and career center, so even if you guys aren't really sure exactly what you want to do, there's a lot of ways to get involved and kind of get a feel for different areas. And you'll kind of discover where your passions are. I didn't come into Davis as a psychology or sociology major, so you might figure out where a better fit is for you.
We also have a question here about studying abroad. We definitely have a really exciting study abroad program here at UC Davis. We actually have a study abroad center that's specifically dedicated to helping students figure out how studying abroad can work into their education here at UC Davis. Students can go for a summer, a quarter, a semester, or even a full year, literally all around the world, and I think it's just such a great way to supplement your academic education and learn about cultures from around the world. Like I said, it's really doable, and your financial aid does travel with you, and there's lots of scholarships that are specifically geared towards study abroad, so it's really doable that way. And also, it's fairly easy for students to find programs that will still give them credit towards their degree, so it won't cause you to graduate late or anything like that. I think it's a really great opportunity from friends that I've had who've had those experiences themselves.
Another question here, did you live on campus and where did you room? I believe both of us lived on campus our freshman year. And after that, I chose to move off campus into an apartment with my friends. And I lived in Tercero, which is on the southern part of campus. We also have two other resident hall areas. We have Segundo on the southwest corner of campus, and also Corto, which is a little bit off campus, only about a 1 to 2 minute bike ride, so still super close. Depending on what you're looking for into a dorm, depends on what areas you want to request. So Tercero and Segundo might have those more traditional style dorms that have, hallways with rooms coming off them, study lounges. And then Corto's the more suite style living, so you'll have a center room as well as 4 or 5 rooms coming off of that, so more roommates, more shared living space, kind of like an apartment style living. So depending on what you're looking into or what you would prefer, you can actually request different parts of the residence halls.
So I also lived in the dorms my freshman year, and I loved it. I actually lived in one of the theme communities in student housing here, so I lived in the International Relations dorm, which was really just a really exciting extra level of kind of bonding between the students in my building. And then I actually worked as a resident advisor in student housing my second year, so working as an RA within the community, helping to put on events and social events for the residents in my community. And I think that we have really great options for housing on campus. I really miss eating in the dining commons because the food really is delicious. But Davis is such a college town. There's lots of apartments everywhere. It's really easy for students to find housing off campus as well, should they choose to.
All right, we have some questions on double majoring, which I am an expert in. How has my experience been with double majoring? So there is definitely a little bit heavier workloads during the school year. As I mentioned, I actually came into to Davis as an exercise biology major and ended up switching my freshman year to psychology, and then sophomore year added the sociology major. So even though I didn't come in as these majors, I'm actually still graduating in 4 years. I'm doing no summer school classes and going to complete both the degrees. So my number one advice is you stick with your major advisors. I think Simone mentioned the advisors here on campus. They are the ones who really have kept me on track to be sure I'm completing all the classes that I need to. The college requirements, each college has their own requirements as well, and so as a student in College of Letters and Science, the counselors there have been able to keep me informed on what classes and things I need to take. But definitely sticking with those major advisors. They wrote out a 4-year plan for me and showed me that I can do it in 4 years. And then in terms of declaring the double major, here in the College of Letters and Science, you do have to complete 2 upper division courses from each of the majors before you were able to declare. So even into my junior year, I actually just declared sociology as my double major. But different colleges might have different requirements, so you'll want to check with your dean's office on how to declare the double major.
And also something good to note about different majors within UC Davis, both specifically within the College of Letters and Science, but also in other colleges across campus, is that it is relatively easy to change your major here at UC Davis. We know that a lot of students change their mind, come in undeclared, and it's a pretty straightforward process. There's some signatures that you need to get, and there's only very few majors that are what we call selective majors, where you have to take it's generally about 5 or 6 classes with a certain GPA before you can switch in. So things like psychology sometimes has like those classes that you need to take. But there's no like majors on campus that you definitely can't switch into or that are like completely full. So it's really great that our students have that flexibility. And then we also have a question here about living without a bike on campus. So we did talk about the bike culture here at Davis. Davis is sometimes considered the bike capital of the country because, like she mentioned, we do have so many bikes around here. But it's definitely a really easy place to get around. We have something called the Unitrans bus system, which is run through our student government here on campus, and it's completely free for students to use. Even the bus drivers are students, which I think is really fun, so it's also an employment opportunity. But like I said, it's completely free. They run all around the city. We have an Amtrak station right downtown that goes all around California and the country if you ever need to get home. The Sacramento airport is just a 20-minute bus ride away. So it's definitely really easy to get around here on campus, and I definitely do know students who have never used a bike in their entire time here on campus. It's an individual preference.
And you'll have plenty of time between classes to walk across campus to get to your class. So if you don't want to ride a bike, it is a little bit scary at first. There's a lot of bikers around, but it's definitely doable to live without a bike. Did or do you have a job? We, in fact, both have jobs. We are both peer advisors in the College of Letters and Science. So we can answer any questions for students. We also both work as campus tour guides. So the tours that go through campus you guys might have even been on are conducted by students, so we also do that as well.
And then I personally, like I said, I also worked as an RA in the dorms my sophomore year, which is a really amazing opportunity. I was able to learn a lot, both kind of professionally and socially working with the students and helping them in their transition to college life. And I also have an internship on campus. I'm a peer counselor with the House, which is affiliated with a resource on campus called CAPS, the Counseling and Psychological Services Center. This is a resource that offers free professional confidential counseling to all of our students to help support them, and they have a peer counseling branch that I'm a part of as an intern. So as you can tell, we're both really involved on campus, and it is actually surprisingly easy to find jobs on campus. The Internship and Career Center that I've mentioned a couple times now has something called the Aggie Job Link that all of our students have access to. So all the on-campus jobs are listed there, even some off-campus jobs. Everything from full-time to part-time to babysitting for a professor in the communications department. It's all right there. It's a really great database for students who are looking for employment opportunities.
There's some questions on here about specific major programs, and it's great you guys are really looking into those. And so what we would actually recommend, as we're not experts in every single major, is to always go and, as I mentioned before, talk to those major advisors, because they will know specifically what classes you need to take, what those courses are like, some of the experiences that you'll be going through. So that would be probably your best source of information is the major department.
And then there's a question here about coming to visit our campus and visit the different colleges or major departments that you're interested in. And we would definitely recommend, if you have the opportunity, to come see what student life really does look like here at UC Davis. Of course, you're welcome to come visit us in undergraduate admissions for a campus tour. That's a really great way to get a feel for student life. But you can also look up descriptions of different majors online. You can call different departments or make appointments with them if that's necessary. I know sometimes students who are interested in doing athletics here at UC Davis will make appointments with the athletics department, or if they have connections with different majors. So definitely the best way is to get in touch with people if at all possible.
Mm-hmm. Someone also asked, can you double major if the majors are offered in different colleges? So yes, you can double major across colleges. You just have to be sure that you fulfill the requirements for double majoring of both colleges. So as I mentioned, College of Letters and Science requires you take 2 upper division courses from both majors. Some other colleges might not have that, but they might have a different requirement, so you want to be sure that you know both the requirements for both before. But you can definitely do that.
Yeah, so it's like you said, it definitely is doable. Sometimes it takes a little bit of planning, but it's definitely something that you can do it here at UC Davis. We do have a unit cap, which comes out to basically 5 full years at kind of an average course load. Engineers don't have that unit cap, just so if you're interested, but there's definitely lots of different ways, like we said, to expand upon your college experience. And then one that I also like is, what do we like most about Davis? It's kind of a hard question to answer because there's so many things that we like. But for me personally, I love the atmosphere here. When I was deciding on colleges, obviously I went on college visits, as I'm sure many of you are doing. And I felt really comfortable here at Davis. I really love the college town feel. Downtown is so conveniently located. There's so many different things going on, student clubs. We have such a diverse population. And the students are just really friendly, so I felt really comfortable here.
Mm-hmm. Kind of going off that too, I've always said that one of my favorite things about Davis is just the people, the students, the community here at Davis. They're all super friendly, really active, always want to get involved in different things, which has really been crucial in my college career here, just getting really involved here on campus, and getting to know people and kind of creating a home here at Davis. And for some people, they might be a little bit worried about kind of the small town feel. I'm not personally a small town person, but for college, Davis is the absolutely perfect place to go because it's so quaint and it's easy to get around. There's a lot still to do here, despite it being a smaller town. So it's definitely really exciting stuff going on.
And then there's also a question about average lecture classes sizes. So for those of you who may or may not be aware, there are about 31,000 students here at UC Davis, 24,000 undergraduate students and 7,000 graduate students. So we do have a pretty large and diverse student body. And the size of your different classes is really going to depend on the department that you're in or the types of classes that you're taking. So as you can imagine, a large psychology or chemistry class is just going to have a lot of students. We do have a couple lecture halls on campus that can seat around 400 or 500 students. But more often than not, when you are in those large lecture hall classes, you'll have breakout discussion sections. So these are discussion sections that are generally capped at about 25 or 30 students, and they're taught by a graduate student TA. And it's really great that you can have that more individual attention, but both the TAs and the professors will hold office hours, which is a really great way to connect with them if you have questions about the lecture material or their research interests. But one of the things that I think is really great for students to take advantage of is the freshman seminar program. These are classes that are specifically geared towards freshman students and capped at only 15 students, so they're really nice and small and intimate, and they are taught by full professors on campus in really random topics, everything from the lost art of letter writing to, I think there was one on the Harry Potter series.
There's one on jazz music or something.
Yeah, I took the music of South Africa. So those are really great ways to get to know other first-year students as well as professors on campus. And then more often than not, also as you get into your more upper division coursework, your class sizes will go down as well, but it really varies by major.
So how hard is it to change majors? Really simple, actually. It just requires a few signatures. But as Simone also mentioned, we do have selective majors here on campus. So there's a few majors that will require you to take certain classes before changing into it. So when I change into psychology, I actually do about 4 or 5 classes. You do have to have a GPA of above 2.5, I believe, for most of those before switching into it. So things like engineering is selective, communication, international relations, landscape architecture,
human development for me.
Right, yeah. So for those ones, you'd want to go speak to the major advisor, be sure there's no classes you have to fulfill before switching into them. But in terms of just switching to a non-selective major, it does just require that you're in good academic standing, so better than a GPA of 2.0, and then you can get those major advisor approval.
And then we also have a question here about Greek life and sororities and fraternities on campus. So about 8.5% of our student population is involved in Greek life here at UC Davis. So it doesn't sound very large, but they definitely do have lots of opportunities to get involved. I'm personally not in a sorority. I don't know if you are.
No.
But like I said, they do have a very active voice on campus. We have lots of different sororities and fraternities that have different nonprofits or different causes that they support. We also have pre-law, pre-med, engineering, kind of more professional-based groups. So there's lots of things like that. And then, like Nicole mentioned earlier, we do have over 400 clubs on campus that students can get involved with. It's also really easy to start your own club if you have, an interest that's not already represented on campus. But the Greek system does also have houses around the city of Davis that are also a living option for students who are moving off campus. There's lots of different ways to get involved with that.
And the Greek system's not highly exclusive either, which I found really nice. A lot of the events and things that they're raising money for, they'll sell tickets for them out in the main part of campus just for other students, like the general student population, to get involved with. So I know next month the sorority is doing all-you-can-eat nacho night or something, and anyone's welcome to go to that. So it's just kind of a fun thing for you and your friends. But if you wanted to get into a close-knit community, sororities and fraternities are a great option for that. How many tests do you take in psychology and sociology? So each class has maybe about 1 to 2 midterms and a final. It's pretty much the same in psychology and sociology. The main difference there is psychology does have a lot of multiple choice tests based on the lecture. And then in sociology, it's more essay-based, just kind of critical thinking, analysis of studies or readings and things like that. So it does depend, but a lot of classes will have 1 to 2 midterms and then a final also.
And then there's also a question here about clubs on campus, since we were talking about student involvement. As we said, both through employment opportunities, we've both been very involved on campus, but I've also joined a couple different clubs, like different honors programs to challenge myself academically, but also one of the things that's been a really big part of my college experience is actually the Davis Swing Dancers. If you told me in high school that I was going to start swing dancing when I come to college, I would never have believed you, but it's been so much fun. It's just a really great community to be involved with, and it's also given me opportunities for leadership experience. So I'm one of the officers of the club there, and really almost anything you can think of, there's probably a club for it. There's an anime club, there's an ultimate frisbee club, lots of really great ways to get involved in student life and kind of find your community here on campus.
And I personally am involved in a religious fellowship here on campus, and I know there's a lot of different religious-oriented groups on campus as well.
So we are coming up on the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for spending time with us. The next presentation is going to be about student life here at UC Davis and what it means to be an Aggie. Thank you so much for considering UC Davis. We hope that we've helped educate you in your decision process, and we hope you have a great day. Thank you for joining us.